watching a full military assault playing out just south of the United States and Mexico. This intense firefight here between the Mexican government and the Sinaloa cartel. The gun battle broke out after the arrest of Ovidio Guzman, who is the son of El Chapo, Joaquin Guzman. This war between the cartels and Mexican military is taking place mainly in the Sinaloa region, home to the world's most powerful cartel. El Chapo was the leader of this group until he was arrested and sentenced to life in prison in 2020. Now, his son's arrest sparked this violent backlash in the streets. Video here shows vehicles burning in other areas of cartel gunmen are shooting high-powered weapons throughout the city. We also saw this body cam footage, this release of Guzman's arrest here. He was extradited to the U.S. for drug trafficking crimes, but on January 6th, he was supposed to be extradited, but a federal judge in Mexico halted that extradition over fear of more violence. The U.S. government is now offering $5 million for information leading to the next capture of Guzman here. And joining us now to talk more about this, Texas Congressman Brian Babin. He is the co-chair of the Border Security Caucus. Also with us, former combat veteran and author of the upcoming book, Saving Aziz, Chad Robichaux, who's joining us from a duck hunt. Chad, we appreciate you taking time off the hunt to join us to talk about this story, because we wanted someone with combat experience to talk about what we're seeing in these videos. Tell us what you see. I mean, we're seeing automatic weapons possessed by the Mexican cartels. Of course, these are illegal in Mexico. But when you see these types of tactics employed, what does it remind you of?
Well, it reminds me of, combat zone, a third world country. And, that's what Mexico has become. They've always tried to strive beyond that. But, the leadership in Mexico allowing this to continue and always letting this get worse. This is the situation they're in. I mean, look, they had Guzman in 2019, and they let him go for the exact same reasons that they're not extradited him to the United States now. At what point are they going to rip off the Band-Aid and let these cartel groups know that they're not going to be able to cave to this violence? They've gotten what they wanted with violence before, and it only makes it worse. And so the Mexican government needs to decide whether they want to be a third world country or stand up to these cartels and these thugs and take the position of strength.
It makes you wonder too. It makes you wonder too, Congressman, how seriously the Mexican government takes Joe Biden and this administration when he goes down there this week to Mexico, and this federal judge says, "No, we're too scared of the violence. We can't really extradite Ovidio Guzman. We're going to keep him here in Mexico and release him back to the cartels." While the U.S. president is actually making a trip down to Mexico, nobody really talked about this, but this is hugely embarrassing for the United States.
Well, it just shows you the enormous difference between. With the I guess you would call it the gravitas, the exuding of authority, the difference between Donald Trump's presidency and then Joe Biden's. It's incredible how much influence we've lost in Mexico since the Biden administration came into power. And just as Chad said, if you dance with the devil, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to pay the piper, and this is exactly what's happening. The Mexican government Mexico has turned into a narco state. It is corrupt. Everybody's bribing the murders that are taking place down there, and quite frankly, this is absolutely having an effect in the United States of America. Many Americans are dying of overdoses, 100,000 plus a year. Coming across that southern border. It is time to take action, I think, and I've said this for several years now. We need to target these cartels. I have a son who was a Navy SEAL, and I know Mr. Robichaux is a former Force Recon. We are going to have to take kinetic action against these people, and I really believe that is going to be the answer. But this feckless Biden administration under the Secretary Mayorkas has done nothing but make it worse and empower these cartels.
Well, it doesn't help either when the president is down there doing a news conference. And to his credit, for a brief period of time, I'm not going to give him too much credit, but Juan Manuel Obrador actually talked about fentanyl as an issue. And this is what President Biden was doing when the Mexican president was actually focused on it. He gets distracted here. He's looking up as an airplane flies by over Mexico City. He can't even keep his concentration on the issue, Chad.
Yeah, look, the whole world right now is in shambles because the commander in chief and the president of the United States, who's the commander of the free world, is absent. And clearly, like a video like this, he's mentally absent. He's not aware. He can't make wise decisions. Everyone knows he's not the shot caller for the United States, and this makes countries around the world not trust us and not follow our leadership and guidance. I mean, how right now, what influence does the president of the United States have over Mexico to say, hey, you need to extradite this individual, Guzman, to us, and what kind of leverage do we have over Mexico to be able to do that? I mean, having strength and leverage around the world is how America keeps the world a safer place. And right now, as Congressman said, America is impacted by this. The overdoses, the trafficking, the human trafficking, the violence that we have coming across our border, all that trickles into America, and it makes America a less safe place. It makes the world a less safe place. We're not having a strong.
Congressman, I know you guys are only one branch of the government up there, the House of Representatives. But what are you guys going to do to try and turn up the heat on the Biden administration to actually enforce the laws that are already on the books related to illegal immigration?
Absolutely, and this is exactly what's happening. The Biden administration is in violation of the law for a lot of the things that they've been doing, and we're putting together a China accountability committee now that we have the majority. Because we know a lot of this fentanyl and the drug connection from China coming through Mexico, coming up into the United States, as I said, has killed over 100,000 a year of Americans. The human trafficking that's going on, really human slavery. It's alive and well because of the cartel activity and because of these feckless policies of the Biden administration. But we have got to complete our physical border infrastructure. We got to build that wall. We know that works. We've got to fix our border enforcement policies. We cannot be giving humanitarian parole to people coming up here who falsely claim asylum. When we look the other way, they've allowed 5.5 million people to come across our border. We have had enormous numbers of criminals come across. Terrorists have been nabbed. Now, how many have not been nabbed?
And again, you look at this video, it looks like a war zone, and maybe we need to treat it like one and put some forward operating bases down there on the border with the U.S. military to keep Americans safe from this spilling over. It's not directly on the U.S. border, but this drug war continues to play out, and it's concerning indeed. Great to see you both chat again. We appreciate you taking some time off the duck hunt to join us for this conversation. And Congressman Bachman, great to see you as well. Thank you, sir.
Great to see you too, John. Thank you.
All right, still ahead.